Good morning, friends. Welcome to Brooks Brew. I'm your host, Brooke Boylan, and let's get brewing. This episode is sponsored by Boylan Electric. Boylan Electric has been in business since 1990, serving the Maryland, D.C., and Virginia areas. For over 3 decades, they've been providing residential customers with top-quality services. As an authorized Generac and Kohler dealer, Boylan Electric installs more generators than any contractor in the DMV. They install and manage many generator sizes ranging from 6 kWs to 150 kWs. Boylan Electric is also certified to do warranty work, repairs, and maintenance on both Generac and Kohler generators. Being a 24/7 electrical service company, Boylan Electric is your one-stop shop for all electrical and generator needs. Call their shop today at 301-990-9686. For more information, look below in the show notes. All right, hello. Welcome back to Brooks Brew. I'm joined here today with Jeremy Hasson. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for asking. So, welcome to the pod. I'm excited to have you here. Do you want to give a little self-introduction of yourself before we get started?
Yeah, sure. I'm Jeremy Hasson. As Brooke said, I am a senior at McDaniel College. I study writing and publishing with minors in food studies and journalism and new media. And I do photography. I'm a social media creator, more or less. We can maybe talk about that. And as Brooke will get into, we met through a Greece trip.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So first, this is like a drink kind of coffee podcast show.
Yeah.
Do you drink coffee?
No.
No. Okay. So then my next question is, what would you say your go-to drink order is? Like if you're going to go out or like hang out with a friend and you're going to like for lunch or just to catch up about stuff, what are you going to order?
For drink, usually soda, but at Starbucks, which I do like, I'll get a strawberry acai.
Oh, that's a good choice.
It's so basic, but it's so good.
Do you get it with lemonade or just with water?
Lemonade.
Of course, you have to.
And I love the dried strawberries.
Mm-hmm. Those are really good. Okay, cool. All right, so now we can get into about, like you mentioned, we met on the Greece trip together. So do you want to talk about how our friendship came to be?
Yeah, so I'm not going to mention any person's name, but I was generally talking about a friend, like just, this person went to this school, this person danced, and this person's on their college dance team. And they're like, Brooke's like, oh, do you know this person? And I'm like, you're joking, right? And it was a school trip on Greece, so it was just so funny.
Yeah, so Jeremy and I go to the same college, or we did. I graduated last May, so we went on this Greece trip. Our school has like Jan term trips, which are like 2-week trips at a time. So we ended up just happening to go on the same trip. And like you said, that one day we were going to like what was it? I can't remember.
It was outside, I'm pretty sure, the old Olympic Stadium from 1896 or someplace in Athens.
Yeah, and we were just like chatting up, like, getting to know each other more because it was like a first couple days into the trip.
Yeah.
So like we were just getting started on everything and we just started talking about mutual friends and I was like, oh my gosh, like I know her. And you were like, oh my God, that was my best friend. And then we just clicked after that. And then Jeremy was just taking pictures the whole trip. We had a great time. Went out to like Greek clubs and we're dancing.
Oh my God. That made me want to go out to the bar at college, which,
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, so that's how we're friends now. So I want to get into now, you talked a little bit about your photography and stuff.
Yeah.
So can you share with us about your major and then what after graduating, because you're going to graduate this spring, right?
Yeah.
So after you graduate, what are your next steps and what are your aspirations and goals?
Okay, so let's break that down one by one. Mm-hmm. So ever since I was in elementary school, I wanted to be a writer, specifically a sports journalist, like on-air type of personality. But then I realized I talk too much sometimes. And, I have trouble with my volume sometimes. But, I figured I'm not, as I went on, like I got more into writing and less into the on-air stuff. But I've always been a sports fan, and now I just want to be some sort of writer doing social media. Mm-hmm. And that's why I chose writing and publishing at McDaniel, because there's a lot of like digital writing classes, like focused on content, social media, digital publishing, stuff like that. And there's also like creative nonfiction classes. There's a memoir class, which one of my favorite professors teaches, but I haven't taken. And you really get to evolve as a writer, and the professors in the English department / writing and publishing really care. So that's how I got into that. And in regards to what I want to do after graduation, I don't know yet, and I probably should know. I want to work for some sort of media company or any organization doing social media or writing or digital marketing. And I've moved less away from the sports realm, although that might be a possibility later in the future, but also a Jewish organization because I am a proud Jew, and I feel like that's important to give back to my community.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever think you would go into like your own freelance like photography company or anything like that?
That would be ideal for my photography because I was just telling people last night I don't want to do photography full time as a full time job, but
Gotcha.
if I were to continue, it would be in a freelance role.
Awesome. So, what was I gonna ask? I don't remember now. my thought left my brain. But no, that's really cool. And I mean, again, you don't have to have everything figured out right now, but
Exactly.
you know, you'll find something along the way once you graduate and land on a cool
Yeah.
opportunity. So that's really cool. So going back onto your photography stuff, I know you talked a little bit about how you got into it in like high school, you would say. So like what intrigued or like what sparked your interest to start it, and then have you had any like cool opportunities since going on that journey?
Yeah, so I have. So my grandfather, my mom's father, has always done photography, so that was my first exposure to it. Exposure.
Oh, camera joke. Oh, you're so funny.
But, you know, so he would always have his camera at family events taking candid pictures. Then, you know, I went to a small private high school, and there I was just doing something. They have something called Friday Forums, which is where you get to know other people who you're taking, who's are at the school because it's a one-on-one school. So I was just doing one of the Friday Forums, like an activity. We were working on like a stop motion film project, and I was just clicking buttons on a camera, and I'm like, you know what, I want to get into photography. So my mom bought me my camera. I've had several cameras since then. I've had some cool opportunities, like at my youth group's international convention in 2019 and 2020. I was a teen photographer there, and in 2020 I got to film photographed the concert, which included artists like Bryce Vine, Matoma, and Quinn 9XCII. So
That's cool.
that was cool. And also my work has been featured on ESPN for my work at McDaniel College Athletic Department.
Awesome. So when you said that your mom got you your first camera, what was your first camera that you got?
It was a Canon Rebel T6. A very basic camera, a shitty camera nonetheless. But
to get you started, it was good.
yeah, and it came with an 18 to 55
That's
kit
good.
lens.
So out of all the cameras that you've had, what would you say is your favorite camera?
I would say right now for portraits is my new Canon RP. But for sports, I would say it's the Canon 60.
Nice. That's cool. So my next question to ask is, can you talk to us about how you got into like social media and stuff like that? Because you have a pretty big social media following now.
Yeah, so, you know, I got my first social media in 6th grade, like Instagram, you know. I have a new account since then. But, you know, my social media following started with TikTok in senior year of high school. So again, about that friend I was just talking about, the mutual friend, I posted a photo I took of her at a youth group regional convention. I'm like, my best friend's a literal model. Check, they showed a picture of her, and I'm like, you know, blank is so gorgeous. I love her so much. Blah 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 blah. And you know what? That probably got 20,000 likes, and that was on my old TikTok account.
Yeah.
But then I kept doing videos like that. People eventually. I went viral enough for people to leave a lot of hate comments, and we're talking about really mean stuff about, like, I don't want to get into it, but, like, calling me special ed, stuff like that, and much worse. So I created a new account, and I created that account, like, September 26th of 2020, after posting since January of 2020 on my old account. And by, like, January, I had over 100K followers, I'm pretty
Wow.
sure.
That's
Maybe
crazy.
it was February. So, I kind of blew up fast by doing sort of the same type of comment, a lot of stitches of people, and I made some great friends through that new account who I still talk to a lot of them today.
That's awesome. So you talk about like the hate comments and stuff like that. How do you continue to stay so positive even though getting comments like that?
When I was first getting the hate comments on my old account, I would reply to the comment with a video and then be like, that's not okay, which would lead to more people leaving hate comments of the same variety. We're talking about like the wheelchair emoji and the brain emoji, if you guys can make
That's
out.
awful.
I know. So I realized when I created my new account, I'm not going to post about it on that current account because it would bring hate comments to it. Right. And one of my very first videos was a reaction video to my old account. This like MAGA Trump guy was making fun of me for being like autistic retarded. I'm not autistic. Although my IQ is low, but that's besides the point. So you know what? I screen recorded the video, then posted it so he wouldn't make fun of me, and that sort of blew up. And by not promoting my new TikTok on the old account, I haven't gotten pretty much any hate comments since.
That's good.
And it's been 4 years.
Yeah. And Jeremy's just always so positive on social media. And
Thank
you're just always
you.
hyping everybody up. And it's just so nice.
You.
And you just make everyone feel so good.
You.
Oh, I love you too, Jeremy. It's my buddy right here.
But, I just, as someone who's gotten bullied pretty much his own life, I figured I'm not going to be a bully. I'm going to be a positivity maker.
Yeah.
And sometimes it annoys some people and turns people away if I do it too much. But trying to figure out the right balance and people who will take my hype anytime they want.
Yeah.
Or anytime I want to hype them up.
For sure. All right. Well, now I want to get into some advice that you give our listeners. So advice in a way that either it could be like positivity based or talking about photography. Like if someone was in your shoes and thinking, they're in either middle school, high school, college right now, and they're trying to find their passion or whether their major, their career, or a hobby, what advice do you have for them to, let's say for photography, what would they do?
For photography, honestly, keep taking pictures. Your first several thousand photos are going to be awful. Don't over edit in the beginning. Don't overuse the noise reduction. Don't overuse clarity. Don't oversaturate your photos. And have a lot of extra storage, because I screwed up with my digital storage, which eventually led to me reducing the quality of my images through Google Images. Google Photos.
Yeah, so just stick with it, because we're never good at something first. You have to just keep trying.
And
push through
even
it.
The best camera and the best lens won't make you take really good photos, although it will help.
I feel like photography just takes a lot of practice, like a lot of skill. And I know you and I talked about it before. Like I did a little bit of photography in high school and college, and I would say more like middle school, high school. But I was just doing it more for fun. I was never really looking to like get professional about it.
For sure. Yeah. Then in terms of life advice, in terms of remaining positive, I would just be like, don't be a bad person. Like, be nice to your friends, check in on them. Something for a long time, people haven't really checked in on me, and people don't always check in on me now, but I try to check in with as many of my friends as I can, and I have struggled at times due to college, but, I just want to be a difference maker in people's lives, and for career advice, you never have to know what you're doing when you get to college or if you're in high school. A bunch of people switch their majors. A lot of people do do a 180 or 360 in what they want to do.
Right,
so it's like, you never know. And usually, at least nowadays, your first job is never your job for life.
Yeah.
Especially going to a liberal arts college. You're most likely not going to do what you ended up. Although you're very lucky if you do end up doing what you want to.
Yeah, for sure. Very well said. All right, for my last segment that I want to do with you. So I did this before in a couple other episodes. We talked about our highs and lows from the week before. So when you're talking about your high, something really good that happened last week that you want to like ride out the high for the next coming week, and then a low, something that was not so great, but what you're going to do next week to kind of shift your mindset and make it better.
Yeah, so my high from the week is definitely coming back to school, and it took me a while to see all the people I was looking to see. Some of them I just saw for the first time last night when we went out. But, just being back at school, being with my friends, because I saw nobody over break. I'm an only child, so I rely on my friends mostly. Most of my friends have siblings, so, it's different experiences, different life experience. My low from the week, definitely it being syllabus week, because it's like never fun. And I found out there's some pretty annoying kids in my classes. People who raise their hand for every little thing and ask random questions.
Yeah, that's definitely bothering in class for sure. But I would say my high from this past week again was probably starting school again, just because being on break, like you're not in a good routine. Like you kind of wake up late, like you sleep in, which is fine. It's needed, like to have that rest. But just having a set schedule and like getting up, going to school, eating, working out, like I thrive off the routine, and plus we all do, just because that's how we're made. Like as humans, we like the routine and the habit schedule. But so just continue that the next week. Just continue to go to school, obviously. But and then my low, I would say, also has to do with school though. Like you said, syllabus week. Getting to school and like just having your syllabus and like seeing everything that you have to go through, like you're looking at the whole semester right there in front of your face, and it just feels like really overwhelming at first.
For sure.
But just have to take a step back, like realize, okay, you don't have to do everything at once, and just take it little by little. So gonna have to shift my mindset for the next week so I don't get too overwhelmed with all my readings.
Mindset is a huge important thing when you're in crucial parts of school, like senior year, last semester, you're in grad school, so it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit's getting real.
Yeah,
I'm allowed to curse, right?
Yes, you're fine. But all right, well, that was pretty much all the questions I had for you. Do you have any closing thoughts or anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, no, not really. Just remember to stay positive.
Yep.
Keep working at your career goals, whether you want to be a writer, whether you want to go to grad school, be anything you want to. Just work hard, be yourself, spread positivity, and if you want positive mindset, you could follow me on social media at Instagram. My photography Instagram is Jeremy Hasson Photography. That is JeremyHassonPhotography. And my main Instagram is Jeremy Hasson without the photography. And my TikTok is jmoney.irl. Yeah, I would love if you followed me, interact with my content. It wouldn't mean the world. You might even get some positive vibes your way.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll put your handles in the bio and in the show notes and everything like that.
Links.
Yeah, the links. I'll link his profile so you guys can go give him a follow. So, all right. Well, thank you so much for taking your time to talk to me today.
Of course.
Really appreciate it.
This was such an honor.
Oh, well, thanks, Jeremy. It's always an honor to talk to you. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Tune in next week for another episode, and we'll see you later, friend. Bye.
Bye.